Now I'm going to start off with some pretty basic stuff here, and then I'm gonna move on up into some more advanced territory as we go. So first thing I guess I'd like to talk about is the mechanics, the actual mechanics of picking, and this is something that a lot of people overlook. They try to jump straight into playing tunes and straight into you know, playing things when you need to work on the actual physical mechanics of making a note, you know, with your fingers and with your pick. And now I've had to backtrack a lot in order to do that. You know, I did just like everybody else. I wanted to learn tunes, and so I jumped off and did that. And then after a while, you know, I went back and reacquainted myself with the basics that I never learned properly to begin with. And so I think if we start there, we can get some important stuff down. First thing, let's talk about the picks a little bit. A pick is a personal choice, very personal choice, and it matters what kind of right hand you use, what kind of attack you want or have, and what kind of sounds you want, what kind of sound the guitar has. There's just a zillion different things. As you know, just because I use this pick doesn't mean it's going to work for you, even to get the same sound. And my main criteria for a pick is not really even the way it sounds on the strings or anything like that. It's how it feels in my hand. And so I like these Clayton Golds. This is one right here. We can't see it there. You can see it here. And here's one. Oh yeah, you can see it. It's just the translucent Claytons, and I like them because they stick well in my hands. I don't have to grip them very hard. You know, the surface feels really comfortable to me. Now everybody's body chemistry is a little different, so it may not, you know, may not work for you. It may. Most of the time I use just a standard teardrop like this one, and occasionally I'll use one of these. I use the big triangle shape like that. Sometimes when I use a tortoiseshell pick, I don't use tortoiseshell very often, but I have about 9 or 10 of them, you know, that I've had for a long time. And sometimes I go back and I use the tortoiseshell. I almost never use a tortoiseshell in a jam situation where you tend to play a little harder and where the little nuances of your playing are, you know, they're lost anyways. You tend to play harder in jams, and the tortoiseshell just chips and breaks, and so I save them for, you know, special occasions, recording or play small groups or even solo, where you can actually hear the guitar a little bit better. Anyway, but there's the big triangle Clayton Golds, and I actually will take those and shape them down a little bit more. I don't like it quite so big. I'll shape it down like this a little bit, like this one. And see, it's just a little bit more rounded and just a smaller shape. And just do that with sandpaper and files. This one here matches one of my tortoiseshell picks, and I like the way it lays in my hand a little bit better. Now each pick will give you, even though these are the same thicknesses, these are all the same thickness, such as the 0.94. Actually, I take that back. This one might be, this one's a 120. I think I confiscated this from the mandolin, because I usually heavier pick on mandolin. But anyways, the same kind of pick will give you a different sound if it's a triangle like this. The way you hold the pick is to hold it like this. Pick your hand and curl it up, and put the pick here, laying on top of your finger, and then lay your thumb over it. Now, with the triangular pick like this, the surface right here is laying on top of your index finger, and it gives you quite a bit more torque like this. It's just, you know, a little bit more grip out there. And you can get the same kind of thing with a triangular or a teardrop pick like this, if instead of holding it like this, like traditionally you do, if you rotate it and hold it over on the side like this, so that the point of the pick is coming back on your hand like that. Okay, if you do that, you can get a lot of the same kind of feel out of it. That point lies along the index finger, and it gives you a lot of leverage, and you can get a better sound, or not a better sound, you get a different sound, a more powerful sound sometimes. I used to play like that a lot. I'd hold the pick on the rounded edge. I'm going to get it here in the shadow, you can see a little bit better. But I would hold it like this. And that's really good for rhythm. You know, if you're in the band and you're playing rhythm, it gives you a good rhythm sound. As opposed to the point, which is a little bit more sharper and clearer. I like the point if I'm flat picking and I'm going to be doing a lot of lead playing. I like that slightly sharper and slightly clearer tone because it cuts better. But if I was going to play in a band and play a lot of rhythm, there'd be a good chance I'd probably rotate around and use the edge of this, or I'd use a triangle to begin with. And then the triangle's a good sound too. You get. I find that I got a lot more power with the triangle, but I don't have the flexibility and the speed that I do with the teardrop. So, whatever. You don't have to stick with one pick. You can have, you can have 3 picks, and you can switch them between songs if you want. It doesn't matter. Just whatever. In fact, I like using them almost as a training tool and using a totally different pick than I'm used to, and it just kind of cross trains your right hand a little bit. Brings up something a little bit different that the other picks don't do, and then sometimes you can take that back to when you go back to your favorite pick. But 90% of the time I just use the teardrop.